well behaved, and you guys have good questions, and you listen really well throughout the talk. So there will be ice cream at the end, and then yeah. So we'll try to keep you guys engaged, and if you guys ask really good questions, we'll have some delicious creme de glace at the end. So
that's a goal like science, first of all.
Why do people have their hands down? You guys not like science?
We can make ice cream in the middle.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of which, the ice cream that we'll make, we're actually going to show you the science behind how to make it and how to think about it. And so, first of all, I have a question. Do Mike and I look like scientists?
Yeah!
Really?
Yeah!
Oh, we have yes and no. So we're just wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt. Or shorts. Like his mustache. Okay, so what do you guys think about, maybe you can raise your hand, what do you guys think about if you think about scientists? The first, yeah.
White coats.
White coats. We can show you some of those later.
Goggles.
Goggles.
Someone who makes experiments and observes their work.
So what does that look like?
Any random person.
Random person, okay.
Random person, we had
So someone with glasses on, okay.
we also had a nomination for white hair.
White hair, okay. Gloves. Einstein.
Absolutely.
Somebody with crazy hair.
Yes. So another question, how old do you guys think scientists are? Do you think? Okay, I like that.
23.
Cool. So one point we want to move with you today, it's kind of tough to see, but scientists and engineers are anybody, right? So it can be any age. Typically it's, you know, after you get out of high school, but you can be a scientist or you can be an engineer even at your age. In fact, a lot of people who got into science and engineering were either building things or thinking about things at your age. So if if you're excited about it, how small a nanometer is, because nanometers are all the size of, has anybody heard of atoms?
Everybody should have their hand up.
So an atom is on the order of 1/10 of a nanometer. So 10 atoms would give us a nanometer. Has anybody heard of a molecule?
Yes.
So molecules can be various sizes, and a water molecule, which I'll show you how a water molecule is made, because the water molecule, understanding it is actually very important for understanding the ice cream, is on the order of about 1/3 of a nanometer. So 3 water molecules side by side will give you a nanometer. How many people in here has ever made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Just raise your hand.
Yeah. I haven't actually. I'm allergic to peanut butter.
Well, actually, this isn't a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's just a peanut butter sandwich. Right? So if I tell you you just have a peanut butter sandwich, right? So you have 3 ingredients. You have 2 pieces of bread, and you have peanut butter. And that's what we call, so there's 2 pieces of bread for every bit of peanut butter. That's what we call a ratio. It's a well-defined ingredient. I see some people nodding.
Yeah, you don't want to have 3 pieces of bread, because then you don't have a set, you just have an extra one, and so it just sits there, right? So you need to have this really precise ratio.
And so that's kind of the idea behind water. People said they've heard about atoms. So there's 2 different atoms. They're in water. There's going to be hydrogen and oxygen. But there's 3 total atoms at what we call this well-defined ratio. So if you ever have what we call this molecule, which again is a collection of atoms, and you have this molecule that has 2 hydrogens for every 1 oxygen, that's water. And so again, that's molecules going to be on the size of 1/3 of a nanometer. And to bring it all together, the ice cream we're going to make for you later is going to have a lot of little ice crystals in it that only have maybe hundreds of water molecules. And that's compared to, say, a glass of water. If you guys pour yourself a glass of water, there's going to be more molecules of water in that glass than there is sand on every single beach on the entire planet. So these molecules are really tiny. And then when you get when we get these nanometer-sized crystals for the ice cream, if I'm telling you there's only a couple hundred water molecules in there, you can get an idea. That's really, really, really tiny. And so you will see when you're eating it some bigger pieces of ice, but most of the ice that you're going to be eating and feeling on your tongues is going to be way too small for you to even see. Okay, now the fun part. So we want to show you guys some experiments. Anybody ever heard of liquid nitrogen? Yeah, so everybody's studied, I think, the states of matter, solids, liquids, gases, right?
Yeah.
So one question, what is nitrogen? Does anybody raise their hand and you can tell me what it is?
Sure. Don't know? Okay, no, that's fine.
It's what?
Who wants to tell us what nitrogen is?
Air.
Sure, air. What else is in air?
It's a gas.
It's a gas. Sure,
Yes.
nitrogen is a
So
gas.
they take just a cylinder of nitrogen, put it in a container, and then you squeeze on it. And you press it really hard, and then you decompress it. And when you do that, the nitrogen lets off a little bit of heat. If they do that enough times, they can get it into the liquid state.
And you guys all have a fridge at home, right? Yeah, so the fridge works the exact same way. On the back of your fridge, there's a bunch of coils and they're hot. And then on the inside of your fridge, it's very cold. And so all they do is they have a fridge that makes liquid nitrogen. It's a much bigger fridge, it generates a lot more heat, but it's the same process.
All right, so first of all, we're measuring out our ingredients. So the first thing we need to put,
Lots of sugar.
lots of sugar. And so this is why ice cream is a dessert, right? It's not super healthy, so you should eat it very sparingly. What we also need is the liquid, right? Everybody knows ice cream has milk in it. So what this is actually half and half, so this is half milk, half cream. So this is
Also delicious.
also delicious.
So we only have 2 ingredients. What are the ingredients we have so far? Sugar and
And cream.
more? Okay.
Just a little bit.
This is going to be tough to stir.
It is. You guys stir it. Okay. So everybody can see it's liquid right now, right?
Yeah. So how are we going to make it into solid? Liquid nitrogen. So we're going to freeze it, right?
Stir it the whole time. So watch out. So so it makes the ice crystals very small. So you guys can see this, right? Adding in the liquid nitrogen, and now it's just kind of getting to look neat and smoke. So right now it's just freezing. See guys, it's starting to solidify a little bit.
What if you cold if you touch it?
It's really cold to touch it. We shouldn't touch it too much right now.